The Mercedes Vito is a van that knows its business. This much improved version offers front-wheel drive and a smaller 1.6 litre diesel engine for the first time, as well as greater efficiency in its more familiar 2.1 litre diesel rear-driven form. It's also smarter, quieter, better equipped and safer. As a result, Stuttgart's medium-sized panel van contender looks better equipped than ever to take the fight to an increasingly impressive array of Volkswagen Transporter and Vauxhall Vivaro-sized rivals.
So what kind of business do you have? If its deliveries are primarily relatively light and local ones, then you, for the first time, have cause to consider this Vito model, specifically the affordable front-driven 1.6 litre version. It comes in two guises. There's a base 109 CDI model with 88 brake horsepower, but we'd highly recommend you find the extra for the uprated 111 CDI variant, which ups power to 114 brake horsepower. For longer distance work, heavier loads or towing, you should turn your attention to the Vito models that carry forward the previous version's mechanical layout. Rear-wheel drive, mated to twin-turbo 2.1 litre diesel power. There's a choice of three models, the 136 brake horsepower 114 BlueTech variant we're trying here, or a 163 brake horsepower 116 BlueTech derivative, which slots in just under the top 190 brake horsepower 119 BlueTech version. This top model gets a sophisticated 7-speed 7G-tronic Plus auto gearbox that's an option on the other 2.1 litre variants. Basing any van on an upmarket MPV is always going to help its aesthetics, and so it proves here. The Vito is essentially the commercial vehicle version of Mercedes V-Class luxury MPV. So as with that car, you get slippery aerodynamics and a purposeful look, with an arrow-shaped bonnet flowing down into a nose section that, with greater crash protection, accounts for this revised model's extra 140mm of length. Time to take a look inside. The Vito's wide door opening and well-placed step means that getting in is a simple enough manoeuvre. And once seated aloft, you'll find a cab that's immaculately constructed and typically functional. That quality feel is exemplified by the smart three-spoke multifunction steering wheel, which isn't set at a bus-like angle as you find in some competitors. Through it, you view clear, round, classy dials separated by an information display. We'd also highly rate the seats. Trimmed in tough black Tundra fabric, they're much more comfortable than before, partly because the base cushion is bigger and the backrest is larger, and partly because a change to the contour of the bulkhead means that they can be reclined by 83mm more than they could previously be. And so to the business end. These twin rear doors come as standard and can open out to either 90 or 180 degrees. All versions of this Mercedes come with a choice of either 2.8 or 3.05 tonne gross vehicle weights. Go for a standard 2.8 tonne front-driven variant and you'll be able to haul up to 955 kilograms about. A rear-driven Vito, though, can do much better. Get an additional 3.2 tonne gross vehicle weight option with this configuration, and the result is a potential to carry a maximum payload capacity that could be as much as 1,255 kilograms, a class-leading figure. And loading capacity? Well, since Vito buyers don't get a choice of roof height, this will depend entirely between buyers' choice of body length. The shortest compact body style gives you 5.8 cubic metres of capacity and 2,586mm of load bay length. Move on to the long variant and you get 6.3 cubic metres and 2,831mm of length. Finally, the extra long version gives you a spacious 6.6 cubic metres and 3,061mm of load bay length. Three dimensions are the same for all Vitos though. First, there's a loading sill height over which you've to lump your cargo. That's 557mm. Then the loading bay height, which is 1,195mm. And finally, the loading bay width, 1,685mm from side to side or 1,270mm between the wheel arches, just wide enough to slide in a Euro pallet. In fact, the most spacious, extra long derivative would even allow you to fit 3 Euro pallets in line in here. Talking of pallets, you can also fit one in through these sliding side doors. There's one each side provided as standard. Keeping costs down will be a major priority for potential owners, people who will be pleased to hear that Mercedes is claiming across-the-board fuel economy gains of around 20% for this improved Vito. What else? Well, residuals should be class-leading. After the usual 3-year, 60,000-mile operating period, independent experts CAP reckon that your Vito should still be worth between 24 and 27% of what you originally paid for it, depending on the variant that you choose. With this much improved Vito model, Mercedes has at last showed itself to be really serious about the medium-range van segment. You really can now consider an LCV bearing that famous three-pointed star as a realistically priced alternative to that Vauxhall Vivaro or Ford Transit Custom you might have been thinking about. And this is it. Of course, there's more Mercedes could do. The cabin's very well built, but it could be a little smarter and more user-friendly. And there's clearly more work that could be done in terms of entry-level engine efficiency. Otherwise, though, there's no doubt that a big step forward has been taken here. Medium-range Transit Class customers will always have cheaper options, of course. Nearly all of them, though, are lacking this van's one most crucial ingredient: star quality.